Welcome to the first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about anxiety, specifically my story. It would mean the world to me if you guys liked and subscribed to this video, maybe post it on your Instagram story. Any support means the absolute world to me. I want to start posting more of these long form videos because I feel like you guys can see the real raw me versus a 30-second clip on Instagram. So subscribe and I will be constantly making these videos. So I'm excited. Let's get into it. My story over the last 5 years and my anxiety issues, which were very crippling. Couldn't leave the house, moved home at 22 years old while having a very social, active life. I was going to college, going out every weekend, going out 3-4 times a week, having fun. Had a girlfriend at college. She's my fiance now. But it hit me so bad that I had to move home. Felt like I couldn't leave the house. Felt like I couldn't even think. I woke up. The first question I would ask is if I felt better today. I was just in fear constantly. And it was a horrible feeling. For someone watching this video, if you have a little bit of anxiety, if you are on the level that I was, if you feel like it's worse than that, if you don't have any anxiety at all, I just want you to know, because this was always a very healing thought whenever I would hear it. I was there and I was in the depths of hell. I can't imagine that I could have felt much worse, and I made it. And I'm not just saying that. My life is amazing. I love my life. I'm happy. I don't live in fear constantly. And I just want you to know, because I didn't truly believe it, but it gave me a little bit of hope when someone would say this. I thought maybe I was different. You can feel better. You will feel better. Take it from someone who was there and feels better now. I promise there is so much hope for you. In this feeling that you're going through, it is not permanent. Tell yourself that. It is not permanent. But that was it. It was 2022. I was 22 years old. It hit me really hard. My anxiety was horrible. It was this thing called dpdr, derealization disorder. Basically, the best way I could describe it is it feels like you're dreaming. Almost as if one moment I was living my whole life, right? Up to that point I was living one life. It almost felt like that life ended in a sense, and I started a new one, but it wasn't even real. I was in a dream where that life is on pause behind me. That probably sounds really ridiculous, but if you've gone through it, you can probably resonate pretty hard with that. And all I could think about is how my life is not the same anymore, or my life's not even real. I was questioning reality in front of me. I was questioning morality. I was questioning everything, constantly living in fear. And luckily, very luckily, I don't know how I would have gotten over it without this. There were two people that helped me tremendously, and it was a good friend of mine that I actually wasn't even close with. I became very close with over time. There were some mutual connections, and my best friend, one of my best friends, his little brother had gone through it. And he was like, hey, talk to my little brother, because I was pretty vulnerable to my best friend when it happened. And he was like, talk to my little brother and tell him what's going on. He went through something very similar, and I'm sure he could help you. And boy, did it help me. Just knowing that someone had felt what I was feeling, because at first I thought I was schizophrenic. I was like, why do I think that my life is not real? What? That's weird. And just the sole fact of knowing someone else is feeling that way and he feels better now, that was amazing. So talk to people about it. Please don't hold it in. It's a really scary feeling. And there was one other person that also went through it that helped me tremendously. Person is very close to me. I don't even want to put it in this video because I didn't ask their permission. I don't know if they feel comfortable with me doing that, but having people close to you talk to you about it, especially someone that's went through it, it is so healing. And if you don't have someone like that, try to reach out to a therapist. Do everything you can. If you don't have the means, try to find someone. Go on, be careful with this, because do not go down rabbit holes with it. Reddit, and see if someone's willing to talk to you. Do not look on Reddit threads, because there's a bunch of people on there that don't know how to heal properly, that are like, oh, I felt this way for a bazillion years, 30 years, 40 years. I feel horrible for them, but that's not going to be a reality for you, because you can control it. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can control it. I'm blabbering right now. I'm going to get into it. So I don't really have a plan for this video. I did go on ChatGPT and I was like, give me just a bunch of points I basically gave my story and I was like, give me a bunch of points I can talk about. So first thing is this: what feels permanent is not permanent. The feeling that I had, the constant fear, the constant panic, one thing that a therapist helped me out with was, when you're in these situations, you don't want to just say things that are false to make you feel better. Constantly remind yourself, I'm happy, right? If there's no validity behind it, I don't know how much better it's going to make you feel. Now, take all of this with a grain of salt. I'm not a therapist. I didn't study psychology, but I've looked into it a lot. And neutral statements that are actually true can help you a lot. So one thing I'd always tell myself is, the feeling that I'm feeling right now, I might feel it today. I might feel it tomorrow. I might even feel it in a year. But this feeling is not permanent. I'm not going to feel this way forever, and I need to remember that, because over time it's going to get better, right? That is not a crazy false statement that I can't believe. That's something I can cling on to. And what that really does is it tells your brain that you're okay, and it calms down your nervous system. The reason that your thoughts are killing you right now is because you are constantly in fight or flight. And this just helps calm your nervous system down, so that way the thoughts are not scaring you as bad. Which is a good segment into the next piece. Your thoughts are not you. You are an observer of your thoughts. Your thoughts do not have to be your reality. Your brain produces thoughts automatically. You have 6,000 conscious thoughts every single day and 70,000 subconscious thoughts every single day. You are not going to automatically predict every single thought you have, so do not be scared that those thoughts all have validity, that they all are who you are. Your thoughts are not you. And especially these scary, intrusive thoughts. I know how intrusive thoughts can be. You don't need to be worried that those thoughts are your reality, because they're not. But the more you cling on to them, the more power you give them, then it starts to look like your reality. It's not your reality, but it starts to look like, because you live in fear of those thoughts. So be very careful of your thoughts. They are not you. You are just an observer of them. Next part, it actually is not the thought that is scaring you. It is the meaning that you are putting into that thought that is scaring you. A good example of this is, one thing that always really scared me, that I've always had a problem with, is morality, or what is life, right? What's the meaning of life? What happens after we die? And I'm very strong in my faith. I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord. I know Jesus Christ is my Lord, but I'm also an overthinker at the same time. I don't want to label myself as that, but I do tend to think. And what I've realized is, thoughts that I've always had my whole life, at one point, they didn't scare me as bad. They were just thoughts of my morality. When I think about them right now, yes, they still come to my mind, but they don't give me the constant fear and panic that I lived in for 2 years, when they were literally making me stay inside my house because I was so scared of them. So what you need to know is, it's not the thought that's scaring you, it's the state of your nervous system, and those thoughts combined are coming together to mix into what's called a negative feedback loop. And what that means is, all anxiety is a negative feedback loop that you are constantly going over, and that you can't think about, and that you can't stop thinking about. And so you just have to know that it's not the thought itself that is scaring the crap out of you, it's the state of your nervous system in that thought. So don't give it the credit that it wants to have in your mind. Understand that it's there, acknowledge that it's there, and say that it's okay that it scares the shit out of you in this moment. Because guess what? It might even scare the shit out of you tomorrow, and it might even scare the shit out of you in a year. But at some point, it's not going to. And that's just a way for you to calm down your nervous system. Another thing, I don't know if anyone watching this has studied neuroscience, but neuroplasticity changed pretty much everything for me. The more I studied it, the more I learned that your brain is not fixed. The thought patterns you have in your head that you repeat to yourself on a daily basis, that doesn't need to be the same tomorrow as it is now. And when I really looked into the psychology and the neuroscience behind it, it made me excited, because I realized that the scary fear, panic thoughts that I had, I didn't have to live in those forever, because your brain can rewire itself. That's what neuroplasticity is. It means that your brain can change and it can create new patterns. So be aware of that, and tell yourself that the way that you feel right now, the thoughts that scare you, the thought patterns that you have, they don't need to be the same thought patterns that you have tomorrow or the next day or next year. they can change. Your brain is neuroplastic, and the more you can understand what is going on in your brain, in my opinion, what helped me is knowing what is actually happening inside my brain. Next part, and this one is so huge. This is not only big for getting over anxiety, but this is really big for finding success in life. If you want to get better at your job, if you want to find a relationship, anything that you want to acquire in your life, this is going to help you get there. And it is the fact that my thoughts create the reality in front of me. And what I mean by that is not some fake fantasy that the law of manifestation where, oh, if I think about something, it's just going to come true. It's going to find its way to me. No, what it means is this, is when you feed a thought to your brain, right? What your brain does automatically without you controlling is it has to find evidence whether that thought is true or whether that thought is not true. So what it does is your brain automatically scans the environment to look for things to prove of what you are saying to yourself. And so when I constantly tell myself, I'm successful, I'm going to find success, there's nothing in this world that's going to stop me from finding success. I'm going to see opportunities everywhere in order to get there. And I've seen this with so many different things in my life since I overcame anxiety. Growing on Instagram, for example, is a very hard thing. It's not easy to grow on Instagram. And there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to do it. There was none. I believed in it so delusionally. And over the last 1 month, I've gained 300,000 followers. That's bonkers. That's crazy. And I promise you that would have never happened if I did not believe in myself. And that would have never happened if that wasn't the thoughts that I was feeding myself every single day. I would have never seen that in my reality. And the same thing is so true for anxiety. If you are constantly feeding yourself the thoughts of, these thoughts are controlling me, I'm just an anxious person, I'm never going to live a normal life, these thoughts are going to control me forever, that is what your reality is going to look like. So try to reframe the thoughts, because the thoughts that you think are shaping the reality in front of you. Like I said, I don't have much of a plan for this, but I think my final message of this video, I want it to be this. If my brain could change, yours can too. I was in the depths of hell. I was to a point where there was no chance I was going to get better. I was so freaking scared. I can't even describe to you how scared I was to wake up every single day. And I think the last thing that I can leave you with is this. Healing is not about becoming fearless, about becoming perfect, about never having these anxieties ever again. Healing is about not letting that fear make your decisions for you anymore. Your thoughts don't control you. You are going to feel better even if it doesn't feel like it in this moment. I promise you are going to be better. If you are still here, thank you so much for watching this video. If you would show some support, subscribe this video, share it on your Instagram if you want to, share it on your TikTok. Any support means the absolute world to me. And if you want to, I would love to have more topics to talk about on this channel. So if you want to comment anything that you want to hear about going forward, I will use that in my next videos coming up. So I love y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.